I want you to lean in close for this, because what I'm about to share is something you'll almost never hear from your doctor, yet it could be the single most important key to your vitality. Have you been feeling it? That slow fade, the energy that drains a little faster, the mind that feels a bit foggier, or a quiet loneliness that settles in at night. What if I told you this decline isn't just getting older, but might be worsened by a silent, private habit you've let go of? A natural rhythm your body is crying out for. This isn't about embarrassment. This is about your health, your longevity, your very independence. So if you've been feeling that spark dimming, stick with me. This might just change everything. Let's start with something incredibly personal, something men in particular are often too proud or too shy to discuss. I'm talking about the health of your prostate and your urinary system. For years, I had a patient, let's call him Frank, a wonderful 72-year-old retired engineer. He came to me convinced that waking up 4 or 5 times a night to use the bathroom was just his new normal. He'd accepted this disruption to his quality of life as an unavoidable part of aging. He felt his independence slipping away, one sleepless night at a time, and it was breaking his spirit. He had no idea the solution might be tied to a part of his life he thought was long over. What Frank, and so many men, don't realize is that the prostate isn't just a passive gland. Think of it like a small, sensitive factory that is constantly producing fluid. When that factory doesn't have a regular shipping day, things start to back up. This stagnation of prostatic fluid can create a perfect environment for inflammation and swelling. It's not a moral failing, it's simple biology. This gentle, consistent release is a core part of your body's natural maintenance, a healthy habit that has been misunderstood for far too long, impacting the well-being of countless seniors who suffer in silence. This isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about preserving your freedom. That chronic pressure from a congested prostate can slowly lead to more serious conditions like benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, which affects a huge number of men over 60. The symptoms creep up: a weaker stream, a feeling of not being empty, the constant anxiety of needing a restroom nearby. This directly impacts your quality of life, turning simple joys like a long drive or a movie into a strategic challenge. Restoring this natural rhythm isn't about recapturing youth. It's about reclaiming your day-to-day happiness and independence. Now, here's the clinical truth, spoken plainly. Regular ejaculation, whether with a partner or alone, is one of the most effective ways to keep this system healthy. It helps to flush out old fluid and potential toxins, reducing the risk of buildup and inflammation. Some powerful studies have even shown a significant correlation between higher ejaculation frequency, around 21 times a month, and a lower risk of developing prostate cancer. This isn't fantasy, it's function. It's one of the simplest, most private, and most powerful healthy habits a man can maintain for his long-term well-being. Let's shift gears from the body to the command center, your brain. Have you ever walked into the kitchen and just stood there completely blank, forgetting why you went in? Or have you lost your train of thought mid-sentence, feeling that frustrating cloud of brain fog descend? We often dismiss this as a senior moment, but it's often a sign that your brain isn't getting the chemical support it needs. This is where maintaining an active, intimate life with yourself plays a surprising and crucial role in keeping an active mind, directly impacting your happiness and cognitive health. When you experience the peak of self-pleasure, your brain is flooded with a remarkable cocktail of neurochemicals. We're talking about dopamine, the motivation molecule, oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and serotonin, the feel-good chemical. This isn't just a momentary rush. This cascade of chemicals strengthens neural pathways, improves blood flow to the brain, and acts as a powerful antidote to cortisol, the stress hormone that, in high levels, is toxic to your brain cells. Think of it as a natural tune-up for your mind, a vital part of healthy aging that we've been taught to ignore. I remember a patient, a brilliant retired librarian named Margaret, who came to me in tears. "I feel like I'm disappearing," she said. "My mind used to be my sharpest tool, and now I feel dull." She was deeply worried about her cognitive decline. We talked about nutrition and exercise, but then I gently asked about her personal, intimate life. She admitted it had been non-existent for years. She thought that part of her was dormant. By encouraging her to reconnect with her own body, we weren't just addressing a physical need, we were reactivating a vital source of brain-protecting chemistry for her well-being. This process is a powerful defense against the mental decline that robs so many seniors of their independence. High levels of chronic stress, marked by the hormone cortisol, are like rust on the delicate wiring of your brain. It damages memory centers and slows down processing speed. The profound relaxation and hormonal release from an orgasm is one of nature's most effective ways to lower cortisol. It's not just about feeling good. It's about actively protecting your mind from stress-induced damage, preserving that sharp, active mind that is so essential to a high quality of life. For men, there's another crucial layer: testosterone. While often linked only to libido, healthy testosterone levels are intrinsically tied to cognitive functions like memory, spatial reasoning, and decision-making. It's the hormone of vitality and confidence. Regular sexual activity, including masturbation, plays a role in helping to regulate and maintain these levels as we age. When sexual activity ceases, testosterone levels can decline more rapidly, accelerating that feeling of mental sluggishness and diminishing that spark of happiness that comes from feeling sharp and capable. Now let's talk about the heart, but not just the muscle in your chest. Let's talk about your emotional heart. I once had a patient, a widower named George, who told me something that broke my heart. "Doctor," he said, "I don't feel sad anymore. I don't feel happy either. I just don't feel." This emotional numbness, this slow fading into a gray landscape, is something many seniors experience and accept as their fate. They believe the capacity for joy has simply expired with age. This is a tragic misunderstanding of our own biology and its connection to our emotional health. That feeling of numbness often has a deep physiological root. The release you experience during an orgasm is your body's most potent, built-in antidepressant and anti-anxiety mechanism. The flood of endorphins and oxytocin creates a powerful sense of calm, connection, and well-being. It's a natural reset button for your nervous system. When you remove this regular, natural release from your life, especially during a time when you might already be facing loneliness or grief, you are depriving your emotional self of its most essential tool for balance, a cornerstone of genuine happiness. This isn't about chasing a fleeting pleasure. It's about maintaining your emotional resilience. Think of your emotional state like a reservoir. Each day, stress, worry, and sadness can drain it. An act of self-love and release is one of the most powerful ways to refill it. It reminds your body, on a cellular level, that it is capable of profound pleasure and peace. Without it, the reservoir can run dry, leaving you vulnerable to the chronic, low-grade depression that so often goes undiagnosed in seniors, disguised as simple fatigue or irritability. I've seen it, time and time again. A patient starts to gently and regularly reconnect with their own body, not out of lust, but out of a conscious decision to care for their emotional well-being. Slowly, color begins to return to their world. They report feeling more alive, more present, more connected not just to themselves, but to others. This simple private practice can be a revolutionary act of self-care, a fundamental healthy habit for anyone seeking a life of emotional richness and not just existence, contributing directly to their longevity. The cruel irony is that many people who feel this emotional flatness turn away from the very thing that could help them most, believing they need to feel desire to act. But sometimes, the action must come first. You can choose to engage in this act of self-care as a discipline, like you would choose to go for a walk or eat a healthy meal. It is a way of telling your body and your spirit, "I am still here, and I deserve to feel good." It's a vital step toward maintaining your independence and happiness. By the way, if any of this is making sense so far, give this video a quick like. It's a small click for you, but it tells me that these conversations are needed, and it really helps me to keep making them for you. It's a simple way to support this mission of promoting healthy aging for everyone. Let's talk about sleep. Oh, the frustration of waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, your mind racing, your body tense, knowing you have hours to go before sunrise. So many seniors I speak with are exhausted. relying on sleeping pills with their long list of side effects, or simply resigning themselves to a life of chronic fatigue. They believe poor sleep is just a tax they have to pay for living longer. But what if one of the best sleep aids in the world was already inside you, completely free and natural, waiting to be used? Here's what happens biologically. The hormonal shift after an orgasm is nature's perfect recipe for deep sleep. The levels of cortisol, that alert fight or flight hormone, plummet. At the same time, your brain releases prolactin, a hormone that induces a deep sense of relaxation and satiety. This combination creates a state of profound physiological restfulness, making it easier not just to fall asleep, but to stay asleep. It's a powerful, natural sedative without a prescription, a key, healthy habit for better quality of life. I had a patient, a 68-year-old woman named Carol, who struggled with insomnia for years. She'd tried everything: teas, meditation, blackout curtains. Nothing worked consistently. When we discussed this topic, she was hesitant, having long since disconnected from that part of herself, but she was desperate. A few months later, she returned with a new light in her eyes. "I'm sleeping through the night for the first time in a decade," she told me. "I thought I was just getting old. I didn't realize my body was missing something so simple." Think about the devastating impact of poor sleep. It weakens your immune system. It accelerates cognitive decline. It increases your risk for heart disease and falls. Securing deep, restorative sleep isn't a luxury. It's the foundation of your health and well-being. It is the time when your body and brain repair themselves. By neglecting this natural sleep-inducing mechanism, you're fighting an uphill battle for your health every single day, undermining your efforts with exercise and nutrition. True longevity depends on quality rest. So if you find yourself staring at the ceiling tonight, feeling that familiar churn of anxiety and wakefulness, I invite you to consider this. This isn't about some Herculean effort. It is about gently reintroducing a natural rhythm your body understands. It's a simple, private act of kindness to yourself that can pay enormous dividends, helping you wake up feeling refreshed, clear-headed, and ready to embrace the day. It's a cornerstone of maintaining your happiness and your physical and mental independence as you age. Let's move on to something that holds you up. Literally, your pelvic floor and your circulation. Imagine the foundation of a house. If it weakens, the whole structure becomes unstable. Your pelvic floor is the foundation of your torso, a hammock of muscles supporting your bladder, your bowels, and your sexual organs. When these muscles weaken, it can lead to a host of issues that many seniors secretly struggle with, from embarrassing leaks to a nagging sense of instability, profoundly affecting their quality of life. A retired firefighter, a strong, proud man in his late 70s, came to me, deeply embarrassed. He'd started experiencing minor urinary leakage when he coughed or lifted something. He felt his powerful body was betraying him. What he saw as a sign of irreversible decline was actually a classic case of muscular neglect. He, like many others, had no idea that sexual stimulation provides a natural, essential workout for this crucial group of muscles, a form of exercise hidden in plain sight. Here's the simple mechanics of it. During arousal and orgasm, the muscles of your pelvic floor contract rhythmically and involuntarily. This isn't just a fleeting sensation. It's a powerful physiological event. These contractions drive fresh, oxygenated blood into the entire pelvic region, nourishing the tissues and keeping them flexible and strong. When you cease this activity, you are essentially putting this entire muscle group into retirement. And as with any muscle, the use it or lose it principle applies, leading to atrophy and weakness. Re-engaging this part of your body is a direct investment in your physical autonomy. Strengthening your pelvic floor can drastically improve bladder control, reduce the risk of prolapse, and enhance stability and balance, which is critical for fall prevention in seniors. It's about having the confidence to laugh heartily, to pick up your grandchild, or to enjoy a long walk, without a flicker of worry. This isn't about vanity. It's about maintaining the functional strength you need for an active, independent life. And let's not forget circulation. That increased blood flow doesn't just stay in the pelvis. It has a positive effect on your entire circulatory system, helping to keep blood vessels flexible and promoting better heart health. It is a gentle, natural way to support your cardiovascular system. By embracing this as a regular part of your self-care routine, you are doing more than just chasing a feeling. You are actively participating in the maintenance of your body's most fundamental systems, a true act of promoting your own longevity and well-being. Now, I want to touch on your body's personal security team, your immune system. Have you found yourself catching every cold that goes around? Or noticed that a minor bug knocks you out for a week when it used to be just a day or two? This isn't your imagination. As we age, our immune response naturally slows down. But by neglecting a key biological process, we might be unintentionally leaving our front door wide open for invaders, compromising our health and slowing our path to healthy aging. It sounds almost too good to be true, but the science is there. Studies have shown that people who have regular sexual release have higher levels of a key antibody called immunoglobulin A, IgA. IgA is one of your body's first lines of defense against invading viruses and bacteria. It lines your mucous membranes in the respiratory and digestive tracts, acting as a vigilant guard. Regular orgasms have been shown to boost IgA levels, essentially giving your internal security team more troops to fight off infections. This is a beautiful example of how pleasure and health are intrinsically linked. The act of self-pleasure isn't frivolous, it's functional. It triggers a cascade of biochemical events that strengthen your body's defenses. It also lowers stress hormones like cortisol, which are known to suppress immune function. So while you're experiencing a moment of personal bliss, you are also actively reducing inflammation and bolstering your ability to fight off illness. It's a 2-for-1 deal for your well-being that you can't get in a pill. Finally, we arrive at the most profound consequence of all, the one that touches the very core of who you are. It's the loss of body ownership and self-esteem. I'll never forget a patient, a former CEO in his late 70s, who once commanded boardrooms. He looked at me with weary eyes and said, "I don't feel like I live in this body anymore. I feel like I'm just its caretaker, waiting for it to expire." That feeling of being a stranger in your own skin, of being disconnected from your physical self, is the quietest and deepest tragedy of aging for many. This disconnection often begins when we stop touching ourselves with intention and kindness. Self-pleasure is not just about a physical release. It is the most fundamental act of communicating with your own body. It is a way of saying, "You are still here. You are alive. You matter. You are worthy of feeling good." When that communication ceases, a subtle but devastating emotional distance is created. You start to see your body as a collection of problems, rather than a source of life and pleasure, which slowly erodes your happiness. If you've made it this far, that tells me something beautiful about you. It tells me you still care, deeply, about your health, your vitality, and your life. It tells me you haven't given up. Reclaiming this private, personal practice is the ultimate act of self-love and presence. It's about looking in the mirror and recognizing the person staring back, not as a fading relic, but as a living, breathing, feeling being who deserves to feel whole. It is the path back home to yourself. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I read every single one, and I love seeing how this community spans the entire globe. And please, make sure to subscribe with the notification bell on. You don't want to miss our next conversation, where we'll talk about another simple tip to keep your mind sharp, your body strong, and your spirit fiercely independent.